Okay, while this gun is apart, this is a good opportunity to talk about 1911 magazines. And this applies whether it's, well, I guess it applies really for double stack 1911s as well. I haven't really looked at them, but I'm pretty certain it's true. Definitely 2011s and maybe even the X9 guns. 45 or 9mm, doesn't matter, is a lot of times you have guns where you'll have extended mag tubes to either get more spring in them or to get more rounds, like 10-round magazines, or you'll see extended base plates or whatever for the gun. On a 1911, you have to be very, very careful that you don't have a magazine that over-inserts into the gun and collides with the ejector right here in the frame. This is the ejector. And so what happens is, a 1911, the magazines don't have any kind of over-travel stop, or they don't have any type of stop in them to keep them from, keep going forever. Whereas like a Glock or a lot of the modern mag tubes have a stop built into them. So the only way to stop something from colliding with your ejector here in your frame is to either have it stop on the magazine release, or it'll stop on the bumper pad. And so if you have a 1911 and you want to put something in with an extended extendo mag in it, or whatever the kids are calling it today, and it doesn't have something to bump into, and you slam that up in there, you can have a situation where the magazine will actually collide into the ejector. And what happens is that ejector will either start to bend and or eventually break. And as it bends, it has a channel that it rides in on your slide, and that can cause drag and friction, which, if you're already, your gun's on the edge of running, that's certainly not going to help it. Or if it breaks, that part's either going to fall out or could maybe even foul up the gun and cause a pretty serious, malfunction. So you need to check this kind of stuff. So what you need to do is, even with like, this is a Wilson frame and Wilson magazines, you'll notice I'm going to use this one first. So there's two different types of base pads on these magazines, and I want you to pay attention to this. The most important part to pay attention to is here in the front, because this toe is normally going to land on the front of the frame. And that is kind of where, if you were to think of it kind of like a headspace, your magazine's going to headspace off of this, not necessarily off of that. So let's do this one first. And you see it comes up, and then it's designed, you'll see it come in, lands, and it stops on that toe. That toe, no matter how hard you hit it, that toe is stopping the magazine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press on it. I don't know if we can see this on video, but you can see there's some daylight between the ejector and the lip of the magazine. Now, also keep in mind, if you hit the ejector, you're damaging the ejector. You could be damaging or fouling up the lips on your magazine as well. So keep that in mind. So there's that one. Now this Wilson magazine, it's this gun's dirty. Let me see if I can. It's close. This one's even pretty close, but it's probably within spec. So you see where the toe is stopping on the frame. I'm going to push up on it, and then you can see it's just barely kissing that ejector. So I'm going to have to, it's barely kissing that ejector right there. I don't think it's putting really any upward pressure on it, but it's something to be aware of. And so if you're buying all these different magazines from different makers, and like, oh, it works in your gun, it fits in your gun. Even if your magazine is working fine, it's something you need to pay attention to. Any 1911 that doesn't have some kind of toe or bumper pad that magazine spaces, head spaces that off the frame I would be very wary of. You definitely need to get in there and check to make sure that your magazine is not colliding with your ejector, or it can take your gun out of service. So if you want to see any more stories or pictures or links of anything like this, please go to our website at john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.